Now the quarter-finalists then. Wigan will take on Penrith, Manly against Balmain, Brisbane against Wests, and Newcastle against Canterbury.
Gino Miles wearing the colours of the English champion side, the cherry and white of Wigan. Ball restart in play now. And this Wigan side, they really need to do something. Dennis Betts, and the Peter Stirling's got big wraps on, takes the ball up first for them. Now they flick it around. Dean Bell gets it on to Boddicker. Now to Martin Offia, had a terrible game against the Gold Coast, but he's flying already today. Martin Offia will go all the way, and Wigan get the first points in this quarter-final of the Cup. And boy, oh boy, doesn't he burn the turf even on a wet day when he gets the chance. Had a terrible game against the Gold Coast, but just exploded out of the blocks. Watch this.
Well, we've seen some very quick players play this game, but I've never seen anybody quicker than Martin Offia on a football field. A valiant chase there by a couple of the Penrith players. Barry Walker, no, that was Boyd coming across at the last tackle. He had no chance, and Offia has given the Wigan side a marvellous start. 4 points to nil within a minute. Great start for the Englishman.
No doubt about that. Frano Boddicker, who has been kicking very well, Peter.
Yes, he's landed 3 goals up to this stage, and you know, if they can get any points courtesy of conversions today, it's an enormous bonus. Very difficult conditions. Boddicker has done just that, put one over the black dot. A very big 6 points to nil lead for the Wigan side.
No doubt about that. Well, Martin Offia was electric against Cronulla on the first night of this tournament, went very flat against the Gold Coast. Gee, what a run then. OK, Betts wraps up Penrith. Let's get back to them as Cartwright now brings it up. He unloads very quickly, but they're getting bustled by this English defence. Coming up very quickly, Gene Miles involved in that. Cartwright getting very involved, puts the ball down and quickly puts the toe to it.
Well, that's the problem with the conditions out there today. There's going to be a lot of loose ball, and really the side that can get down, make less mistakes, but also get on the loose balls is going to hold a tremendous advantage. Possession extremely important in these wet conditions.
Both packs going in. Wigan ball. Boddicker up in the line to try and create that overlap. Bell steps back inside. Lots of defence still going, though. Bustling his way a few more metres.
He's had a marvellous career, Dean Bell. It seems like he's been around forever. And there's another man who's got plenty of miles up, Gene Miles, and seems to have found an extra lease of life with the Wigan club. He's had a marvellous season so far over there in their conditions.
No doubt about that. He's getting big raps out of England. Right now they go. Wigan. Betts flings one back.
There'll be another 6 tackles to the Wigan side, and again some more possession. Very tough for the Penrith side to score without the football.
Sean Edwards will play it back. Dermott fires one out now for Miles. Gets it on to Betts. Betts picks up Boddicker. Comes back inside. They've taken play into the Penrith half by about 13 metres. Betts puts the toe to the ball. Not a bad kick either. The chase is on now in these greasy conditions. But Penrith clean it up through Alexander.
Well, that's smart play again from the Wigan side. Betts dropped the ball onto the boot. Very tough to pick it up. Alexander tried to do so, but again, another set of 6. And really, with this weight of possession, we should see some more points registered by this Wigan side.
Bell gets a very smart ball out very quickly to Myers. Trying to get up to play the ball. Careful here because they've got plenty of time now. Plenty of tackles left. Here they go. The Englishmen stretching the way. They change direction, though. They come back the other way.
This man's the key for the Wigan side, Sean Edwards. Without Andy Gregory on the field, he's the playmaker. He's the man that would be looking for places where the Penrith defence are vulnerable.
Busy player, as he likes to get involved from the word go.
Well, he's a test player, and it probably hasn't lived up. I think he was one of the youngest players ever to represent in the English jersey, and maybe hasn't lived up as Dermott goes. Oh, he's shot. That's a double movement.
No try, double movement from Dermott. He just went a bit early, slammed it down, thought he was going to get probably swept across on the grass.
Well, he's awarded the try. I'd like to see this on replay. I thought he grounded the ball, and it was a separate motion. There, he's grounded it once, and he grounded it again.
No doubt about it.
Well, it's a little bit of luck there for the Wigan side, and they have had all the football. They need these points on the board with the weight of possession they've been able to enjoy.
So Wigan 10, Penrith yet to put any points on the board. The kick to come, there it is. It's a horror. So that score remains Wigan 10, Penrith 0. And that one, well, definitely a double movement there. No doubt about that. But it's been awarded. Right, Penrith now with the football. Cartwright goes up hard again. Takes it 10 metres out. Alexander. Bittler. Bittler's been using his step to great effect, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's a fine player. Been on a kangaroo tour at something like 18 years of age, and I think he'll be in Australian sides for many years to come in some shape or form. As Alexander sees some space out wide, picks up Brad Fittler, but a poor pass back inside, and Gene Miles comes up with the football.
Knocked the wind out of his sails a bit. So Wigan now back with the ball. Not going anywhere this time, though.
With only a minute and a half left on the clock, Darryl, Wigan don't have to do anything. They've got a good lead on the scoreboard, 10 points to 0, and really they can just afford to work it out. If they work out 5 tackles, put the big kick in, but Dermott has made a good break. He's picked up Offia.
And Offia's out of that tackle. Can he go again? Now he stretches out. He's going to go all the way again by the look of it. Martin Offia will put it right under the black dot. Well, he knows how to score him. There's no doubt about that. I'm not too sure he can get through defence as well as he would like to, but if he gets in his space, he's just uncatchable.
Well, he's not in the side for his defence. This is why he's in the side, and this is why he's the highest paid rugby league player in the world, along with Ellery Hanley, I suppose. Just that freakish ability to be able to score tries, and it is courtesy of that amazing speed. And that really should wrap up this match. I know that's a big statement going into the second half, but with a 16 points to 0 lead, as Bodica does convert the try, going to be very difficult for the Penrith side to pull back.
So there we are, scores now the first Cup quarter-final, Wigan over Penrith, and to the tune of 16-0. Well, out for Cartwright again. Up he goes, hard and straight. Ben Alexander looking for his brother. Bittler wanted the ball, but just couldn't get it. Gene Miles put himself in between Alexander and the ball. Gain for Fittler. Comes out for Walker. There's the half-time siren. Loose ball. Gregory gets his toe to it. The Englishman chase on, but the referee pulls it back. So the half-time...
Now, it's been a penalty awarded here, Darryl. The Penrith side, he's ruled that player was offside. Andy Gregory shakes his head. He doesn't agree with it. So they'll have one last chance this first half to register their first points.
Okay. So Penrith going as much as they can. It'll take them just outside the 22.
Run it, Darryl, or put the ball up in the air? They'll run it.
Here we go. Bittler. There's the kick.
30-0 kick. A good play there from the Wigan side. Bodica takes the tackle.
Action from the second half coming up. Wigan leading. Penrith 16-0. Driving the ball off. Pretty deep, Penrith. In these conditions, Peter, you've played here this morning. I mean, I can't believe the ground has drained as well as it has when you consider how much rain over 3 days we've had.
Well, there is still a lot of water out there, Darryl, but with the amount of rain, the ground has held up remarkably well. You could do with flippers and scuba gear out there, but I thought it was an excellent first half performance by the Wigan side. They played very, very good wet weather football, which I suppose they are used to coming from where they do.
Intercept then from the Englishman. Referee pulls it back, though. The scrum will pack midway between the quarter and the half. Penrith's end of the ground. Alexander the feet and one against the head, so a good win for Wigan here. They've got them stretched. If they can go out, but they come back the other way. Andy Gregory now, he straightens up the attack, and that's the 22 you can see. So again, they're in great attacking position, Pete.
Yes, and they really don't have to score points, Darryl. They just waste time with possession. Good stepping here from David Myers and a good support from Sean Edwards. They've got enough points on the scoreboard to win. They just have to keep their line intact.
So Wigan just inside the 22. Over the head of Miles. Picked up by Bell. He virtually goes backwards to give himself some space now. Bodica puts the ball in the air, chasing through. He gets the bounce. He might still be able to do it. Oh!
I think it went
touch
dead.
And go, but I think he just missed it by probably a couple of centimetres. It was close. Watch this.
Yeah, smart play from Frano Bodica. The ball just skidding along there. You can see the wet conditions. Very, very close, but the ball just over the line.
Not much in that.
I beg your pardon, see ya. Sean Edwards not happy with Greg Alexander and vice versa. I think more of a smile on Sean Edwards' face when he looks up at the scoreboard. The penalty has gone to the Penrith side, and Brad Fittler picks up touch, still 10 metres inside their own half.
So Penrith yet to score in this the second half, and they need to put some points on the board very, very quickly. But they just can't get that field position, Peter. They've played most of this game up there into the field.
No, they haven't had much football, and it's been a smart performance by Wigan. Only 4.5 minutes left on the clock. I know Penrith have got some great attacking players, but very difficult to see them scoring enough points to go through into the semi-final.
Penrith running out of tackles and needing some territory very quickly. Alexander now belts the ball downfield. Plenty of Penrith chasing coming on, but the Englishman should cover it up. Oh, no, they don't! That's got to be a try. Yes, sir, that is a try. So a great chase. We said the chasers were coming through, and what a beauty.
Yes, they took the odds to it. Greg Alexander certainly had plenty of pace there from the Penrith side, chasing with Alexander and Graham Lyons, who has scored a couple of tries already in this tournament. A bad bounce for David Mize, and Graham Lyons right on the spot. And that's the first points to the Penrith side. The conversion attempt unsuccessful, so still plenty to do, trailing 16 points to 4.
The Penrith on the board at 16-4. Between Miles starts for Wigan, and again makes another valuable 10. Gregory puts his head down and burrows away and gets inside the 22. So in 2 plays, they've really made a lot of ground here, Wigan.
He's like an extra forward, isn't he, Andy Gregory? A pocket back at battleship. Look at the size of the man. Very astute player, good ball player, and so is this man, Sean Edwards. They've done a marvellous job out there this afternoon for the Wigan side.
Boddicker stepping, looking to unload, long floater out. Comes back inside for Sean Edwards. All sorts of angles here for Andy Gregory, the little man we're talking about, and it opens up for him, and he's right under the post. Gee, they're virtually uncatchable here, with only 2:41 on the clock to go and leading 20-4 with a kick to come.
Yes, we spoke about running angles yesterday, and what it does is put the opposition in 2 minds. You see the Penrith defence at 6s and 7s there. The number 10, Brett Boyd, had no idea who was going to get the football. In the end, he got nobody.
Boddicker out in front. Gets the points too, so 22-4. Wigan over Penrith in this, the first Cup quarter-final. And the Englishmen very, very impressive. They've had all of the ball, basically, in this match. So Penrith now back on the attack. Alexander swings it around, gets it to his brother. Now it goes...
Graham Mackay taking the ball up. He's had a good tournament for the Penrith side as well.
Cartwright turns his back to spin it away and does exactly that. Alexander goes out wider again to Lyons. Loose ball.
Another set of 6 there for the Penrith side. A fortuitous bounce, but a minute 40 left on the clock, trailing by 18. It's going to be Wigan that's going to go through, and it's been a good performance. High tackle from Sean Edwards. And Brad Fittler again presenting that high tackle.
Coach Gould sitting high and dry. Well, not about dry, but high in the stands anyway. It's not too many people dry here. There's Mackay. Bustles his way into the 22. There's a bit of push and shove going on. This was always going to sort of happen, but Dean Bell doing the best he can to settle everything down.
Yeah, shame to see this happen. The temper's starting to get a little bit frayed. I don't know what eventuated there between Martin Offier and Graham Mackay. But again, when you look at the scoreboard, you know who's going to have the biggest smile on their face.
The feeling of this, of course, goes back to last October when Wigan defeated Penrith in the World Club Championship. There'd still be a bit of sting left there.
Yeah, I'm sure that, you know, even though Penrith won the Winfield Cup competition, that it would have been nice to take the World Championship. Everything against them going over there at the end of the season, and I'm sure the boys celebrated long and hard going up to that game. But Wigan, they've earned the title of World Champions, and, you know, they're going to register another win this afternoon.
The ball still loose here in the dying seconds of the game. A mishandled ball, and it's a try. So Penrith posting some points late, and too late with only 16 seconds of this game remaining.
Yeah, big John Cartwright put the boot to the ball. Frano Boddicker took this pretty easy. Should have dived on the football in these conditions, but it's all academic now. That's just going to make it a more impressive scoreline for the Penrith team, I suppose. They've got to within 14 points.
So 22-8, the final score.
This should be a crackerjack game, Ray, because if you had to say out of the 24 sides who have been the two most impressive over the last 2 days, you would certainly come up with Manly and Balmain.
Yes, this match worthy of the grand final of the Nissan Cup. And it's time on. Brian Smith kicks it deep. And David Lydiard will bring it back for the Eagles towards his own 22. Away now for Stokes. Smith underneath, Sirenen over the top. Cunningham for O'Connor, folding from right to left. Smith again with Elias involved in the tackling. Lydiard now to the right for Lyon. Roberts is with him. He cuts him out. Picks up Iro. Iro's over the halfway. He's got 22 metres to go. They won't catch Iro. First points to Manly.
Oh, put that down to the brilliance of one-man Cliff Lyons with the cutout pass there. And Kevin Iro ran onto this pass. Cliffy, here he goes, cuts the man out. A good decoy there, but Iro found himself in open space, and away he went. He's got some toe for a big man, the former Wigan player, now playing with Manly Club, and first blood to Manly.
Attempted conversion wide from the same man that made the try possible. He laid it on. Manly 4, Balmain 0, and 5:46 of the first half to go. So back to where we started from, Ben Elias. And a good ball across to John Elias now. He may go all the way. They're coming quickly. He'll make it. John Elias. He got the final pass from Will Robinson. He showed tremendous toe for a big man, but he showed the grit and determination of a real Tiger.
A set play here by the Tigers, and John Elias has a good ball out to him. Ian Roberts chases in vain. Look at the strain on Ian Roberts' face. David Lydiard misses after the dive, and Elias, they hit back very quickly, the Tigers.
Now this man could prove the difference. Very difficult conditions for drop kicks, but Brian Smith may be able to do better than his opponents, and he has. He's brought up the flag. Balmain 6, Manly 4. These two sides have won the sevens down through the years. Balmain 89, Manly in 90. Lyons now across the park, runs into a gap. He's going up to the quarter line. He gets the pass away. Iro put him down for a double. Iro gets his second.
Oh, what about the combination, the Lyons-Iro combination? But this was poor defence by Balmain. They had man on man, and Cliffy Lyons simply ran around his opposite, and away he went through the gap. Here it is, dummy after dummy, and there was a bad dummy taken there.
Will Robinson, I think it was.
He's only young, inexperienced. He'll learn from that, and Kevin Iro once again finishes it off.
Two tries for Kevin Iro. Kick was unsuccessful from Frank Stokes. Manly leading by 2 points now. This is Dalmott. Play near enough to the halfway. What an amazing ground this is, given the rain we've had. Brian Smith showing it. John Elias, try scorer earlier on. They're running angles now for Dalmott. Iro's got him wrapped up. Not only wrapped him up, but back slammed him into the turf. Away now for Robinson, fading across the ground. Dummies to Brian Smith, puts on a long ball for James Grant.
They need someone to go forward, Ray. There's no one going forward.
Now again, it's the captain, Brian Smith. Sirenen to dummy half. Will Robinson, John Elias.
Yeah, good tackle from Ian Roberts.
Last tackle coming up for the Tigers, no marker. John Elias plugs the ball down into Manly territory, quite deep, but David Lydiard's across to cover. Lyons working his way across the ground, linking up now with Stokes. Gets his pass away. David Lydiard, he's into a gap. He's got O'Connor coming inside. O'Connor puts it back to the centre of the ground. Owen Cunningham couldn't do anything about it. So we see the three-man scrum prepare to pack.
Ian Roberts just gone off hurt, limping off with a leg injury. John Jones on. Balmain should get this ball. They want to do something more positive than the last 6 they had. Brian Smith streaks away.
To the blind side. Jones goes over the top to make the tackle with Cunningham. Robinson, a good ball, away to Sirenen. Now it's back to Elias. Elias across the park. He's picked up James Grant. Try for Balmain. Well, the two rugby union converts, well experienced in the art of sevens football, laying on a try for Balmain. They go to the lead by 2 now.
A great ball there by Will Robinson. Everyone thought he was tackled, but Elias backed up well, and you couldn't get a better pass than that, right on the man's chest, where it should end. And James Grant, Balmain hit the front.
Just that conversion from Brian Smith, the difference. We're 1 1/4 minutes out from half-time. Brian Smith now, 10 metres in, 20 metres out. Not a bad kick, but it's wide. Scoreline remains, Balmain 10, Manly 8. Play able to resume now with the goal kicker back on his own side of halfway. Lyons holding it back from Jones, turning it back left for O'Connor. O'Connor's got Hancock outside him, cuts him out, finds Lydiard. Lydiard now, taken to ground by the Balmain Tigers. O'Connor wants it. This is him. Run around for Hancock. Now for Lyons. There's an overlap there with quick ball. Jones gets it away. It's Iro. Still able to get the pass onward. And down the ground goes Cunningham.
Oh, great tackle, Brian Smith over there in cover.
Lyons now. Away for Hancock. This is Joe. Now it's O'Connor. Inside the quarter. Picks up Lydiard. Lydiard comes to Grant. 10 metres out from the line. This has got the crowd right on their feet now. Second quarter final. Hancock again. Tries to make the bust himself. O'Connor's gone to dummy half. Jones will run a decoy left. He does that. Dummies to Lyons. Long ball out now for OJ. Cunningham. He's lost the ball. Brian Smith comes up with it. There's the siren dial. I thought a penalty may have been coming for stealing the ball. At half-time, the Tigers by 2 over the Eagles. Brian Smith. Pulled down about 5 metres inside his quarter. Paul Sirenen. Cross now. Robinson's put it down. That's the mistake Manly were looking for. Putting the scrum down.
Whilst the scrum goes down, Ray, some news from the bench that Ian Roberts has probably torn a thigh muscle in the top of his leg, and we may not see Ian Roberts again today.
Lyons working it. Lyons to the open side, tries to make it himself, finds O'Connor. Now it's with Lydiard. Lydiard brushes off Dalmott. He might have been tripped there by Benny Elias.
Oh, accidental, I thought, Ray.
Hancock, they come blind. They've stacked the blind side. So Lyons goes back open side. Finds Hancock. Could be a chance here. Oh, Hancock, he should have had a look there. He had O'Connor.
Great tackle by John Elias, though.
O'Connor now. Lyons. Lyons looking for the long ball. There it goes for Iro. Touched by Balmain. It'll be a knock-on.
They've got him for a forward pass.
Forward pass, was it?
The wind drifted that one forward, so the Balmain side gets a let-off.
The Tigers leading by 10 points to 8. So Balmain get the feed. Smith not knocked on. Away from Hancock. Comes back into the traffic. Lyons and Cunningham. Now it's Dalmott. Lyons now making the tackle, keeping Balmain wedged inside their own 10 metres.
Yeah, they're in a bunch there. They've got a big, strong run here from someone.
3 in a row for Lyons. Elias the player. Dalmott as the dummy half. John Elias, try scorer. Met by Lydiard. Oh, gee, that pass looked dubious across to Benny Elias. Now it's with Grant and cut down by O'Connor. Grant now goes outside the 22. He's covered by Iro. Elias flicks the ball over his head to Dalmott. Dalmott gets it away to Grant. Grant puts it on the ground for Will Robinson. But 5 tackles, no knock on.
Oh, turn it up, ref.
That amazes me. Now it's with Smith. Smith decides to get out of here. 5 tackles inside their own quarter almost. Race for the ball now, and cleaned up by Lydiard for Manly.
Oh, the referee's kidding here. He's giving a penalty for the tackle. There's nothing in it. The man's entitled to be tackled when he's on the ground. What's this? Just a tackle. There's nothing in that, ref. Give yourself an uppercut.
So Manly comes up with the penalty.
But I'll be saying that the man is entitled to be tackled, Ray, isn't he?
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Stokes now takes the tap. Jones takes it ahead. Sirenen combines there with his captain to put him down. Frankie Stokes again coming to that halfway line and across it. Now it's Iro. Iro's looking for number 3. He'll go all the way. Iro gets his 3rd try. Manly hit the lead, 12 points to 10.
Well, a crucial decision there, I felt, by the referee to give that penalty. I felt it wasn't warranted. As a result, from the turnover of ball, Kevin Iro finds himself out in the clear, skirting down the blind. Frankie Stokes did very well. He drew the defence. John Elias, as quick as he is for a second row, couldn't put it with Iro. And Iro, the try-scoring machine today, that's his 3rd.
Attempted conversion taken by Matthew Rich. He gets it. Manly leading by 14 points to 10 now. So, Balmain have got 2 minutes and 55 seconds of time remaining to make up this leeway of 4 points. Ben Elias goes open side. Taken by Jones. They're just inside 32. Will Robinson. Dowmount's on his inside. The pass to Grant goes to ground.
Well, that was something Balmain didn't need. They had an opportunity there, but it was a pretty ordinary pass from Robinson. And now Manly should get the ball from the scrum, and with just over 2 minutes remaining, it could be their match.
Now this scrum going down just outside the Manly 22. They'll come back with the ball, one would expect. Although Ben Elias has done well to lock it up in that scrum. Manly players on the ground. He may give a penalty here. No, Manly have come away with it. Hancock plays it. Jones now. Smith underneath, and John Elias over the top. Slowly to his feet. Manly wheeling and dealing at the moment. Slowing the game down to suit themselves. Cunningham brought down. Lyons. Way to O'Connor. Now to Hancock. This is Stokes. Dowmount on Stokes. And play close to the halfway line. 1:25 left now. O'Connor. Centre kicks. Stokes is the chaser. Brian Smith back there to take the ball for Balmain.
Now Balmain, last opportunity for them. Minute remaining.
Dowmount.
And they've got to make some long yards here.
Ben Elias. Sirenen. Elias. Dowmount. Outside the 32. Cunningham on Dowmount. Inside the last 60 seconds. 14 to 10 in favour of Manly. Smith, long pass. Grant, beautiful ball. And Grant going down the sideline. Kevin Iro. Picked up by Hancock for Manly. Hancock goes to ground. And that should be all that Manly requires.
Great footwork by Jamie Grant, but the pass went astray, and now Manly, all they've got to do is hang on to the ball. They're into the semi-finals.
22 seconds left to go. Lyons brushes away from Brian Smith. Now he's put down. 14 seconds to go.
Good display by Manly. Put down the man of the match award for this one to Clippy Lyons. He's set up too with some great passing. He's been in everything, tackling. Great performance by Clippy.
Lydiard's tackle, 2 seconds from full time. Manly goes through to the semi-final with a 14 points to 10 victory over the Balmain Tigers.
Okay, underway. Brisbane will kick off. This is the third Cup quarter-final. Wests and Brisbane. The man you talked about, straight into the action, Fatty.
Yeah, he took the tackle well.
West with a little stepping run through Anderson. Trying to work play away from the 22. They've done that now. Hill very much involved from the word go. You played with him last year at East.
Look, I rate him an outstanding prospect, and you know, if he keeps going the way he was last year, I see no reason why Terry Hill won't be in New South Wales blue jumper come May.
Big, long, floating pass, very, very wide out. But West pick it up pretty well through Simon. Simon's claps on the pace now. Now they unload, and they're pretty well stretched if they can just slip this ball, but they can't. Brisbane do a great job wrapping it up, but they're inside the Brisbane half now. The Magpies on the attack. They go down now through Taylor. Taylor, they put the ball in, the chase is on. Anderson, can he get there? No, he can't.
Yeah, good kick, Jason Taylor. He saw that his man on the outside was marked, put the kick through, got an unlucky bounce, and Brisbane bring the ball out now in their own quarter.
Wallace playing it back, so Brisbane for the first time on their line with the ball, but let's have a look at this pace that they've got, because there's plenty of it in this side.
Well, they've got a mile of pace, blokes like Renouf and Willie Kahn, Mick Hancock. They should win this match. They've got to get down into good field position, mate.
Alan Langer trying to set play up. They're only 10, 12 metres out from their own line. That was a better run from Chris Johns. Langer stepping his way through the black and whites, gets the ball round, intercepted almost by Wayne Simons for West.
Intercepted was almost a try. Wayne Simons looked up, he could see the goal line 30 yards away, but he dropped the ball.
So West blow a good chance there. Simons doing some good work. The ball's very heavy, very greasy. The rain has eased here, but now this is better play now. Lazarus bursting away, flicks it back inside. The Hancock, is it? Hancock streaking down in Brisbane. I've got to put it right under the black dot through Hancock, Michael Hancock. Wow, when he got free, he just strode out. Lots of pace here with this fellow. Big, strong runner.
And there's wide open spaces in this game. You can see Kevy Walters here strides away. He got outside Terry Hill, drew the winger, and Mick Hancock cruising up the inside. He can run, and no one was ever going to catch him. So Brisbane draw first blood. 4-0. Kick was missed.
Walters gets it on to O'Neill. O'Neill with a nice pass up for Walters. Busting run here. They're trying to get him over the sideline. They won't do it, though. Bit of push and shove going on. Walters kicks ahead. Chase going on. O'Neill chasing through. One of them's got to get it. So a handy kick and a big chase, and it was O'Neill who grounded it.
Well, as one of them, the kick went through. Some good play by Julian O'Neill. He ran down the blind here. Watch this. He cuts back. He switches back down to the blind. Julian O'Neill, he runs from dummy half. You can see that Alan Langer's covered. Good ball to Kerrod Wallace. Now, Kerrod did the right thing here. Open spaces. 3 of them chasing for it. Kevy Wallace says, leave it for me. Julian O'Neill says, you're kidding. It's mine.
Madison. This one from in front. Difficult angle this time. And we'll forget the kick. So score remains Brisbane 8. West yet to score. Restart of play, Western Suburbs belling the ball down really deep. And they have a lot to do, Fatty, trailing 8-0 against Brisbane in these conditions.
Well, their problem has been, Darryl, they haven't controlled the ball. And the simple fact of that matter is they've got no points on the board. Brisbane, on the other hand, are playing very, very well. Some tricky customers out there. Both the Walters brothers out there. Alan Langer. They're a very good side, the Brisbane side. Lazarus hits it up.
Lazarus takes it up, and they've almost worked play. They're about 8 metres short of the halfway line. So scampering down through Walters. Madison comes in a dummy half. Across the line, nice tackle on O'Neill from Farah. Again, they put the ball down deep in West territory. There's a bit of chasing going on, but West have got it covered. Farah will clean it up for West. He gets cleaned up by Brisbane. Wallace affecting the tackle. Now it's Taylor. This is Bell. In their 22, West, trailing by 8. Better pass this time, but too much defence. Brisbane seem to be everywhere in defence at the moment. a chance for West as Bell. If he can get, he's got Farah. Farah's got support. Yes, sir. Russell Wire. Can he go away? He stumbles down, loses the ball. Well, dear me. Farah got him a lovely pass, and he just couldn't hold his footing or the ball.
Russell Wire out in the open spaces. Andrew Farah gets the ball. He knows he can't go on with it. He's 35, hitting 40, and Russell Wire says, I'll go, but drops the ball after the ankle tap. Good covering tackle there.
Geez, you're tough on the ranges when you've retired, Fatty. So Brisbane in possession again, still 8-0. Brisbane using the field, but they're using more of the field. That's the difference, I think.
Yeah, using the width of the field, and, you know, they've got the pace out wide to go on with it.
Renoff, taken by Langmack. Centre field, they've worked play back midway between the quarter and the half. Walters, little darting run almost through again.
Yeah, that dummy half running's the key to this too. You know, those darting runs around the rucks, throwing dummies. Kevy Walters now. Away he goes.
Here's the break. Walters now streaking down. Should go all the way, Walters. No one chasing him. What's the referee going to do? He's going to follow him in and say fair try. That's what he's going to do. So Brisbane score again and start to make the scoreline a little embarrassing for West. Brisbane 12, West yet to score with a kick to come.
Kevy Walters here. There's a poor attempted tackle there by Russell Wire, and the West chasers, they're looking very tired. They need cabs. Kevy Walters, he goes away for an easy try, and Brisbane 12-0, 14-0 now with the kick successful, and it's all over for the Maggies in the 7.
Time on. Lamb getting us away now with the fourth quarter final. And it's captain to captain with Michael Hagan brought down just outside the 22. McCormick, you see quite a bit of him at dummy half for the Newcastle side. Glanville is wearing number 7. He was the player of the series last year. Now it's Tony Kemp, Kiwi international. Hagan turned inside by Boyd for Gordon. Gordon now to Kemp. Kemp with a little kick over the top. Sends Canterbury scurrying back. And a mistake by Canterbury finds Newcastle come up with 6 more tackles.
Yes, fortunate piece of play there for Tony Kemp. But when you do put the ball in the ground here, anything can happen. As we've said, the conditions are very poor for handling down at ground level. And Newcastle able to get another set of 6 tackles against this Canterbury side.
Hagan taken down by Darren Smith and Bruce Maguire. Glanville a dummy half. Gordon comes the blind side. Gordon wrestled to the ground there by Jason Williams. Kemp again goes up the blind. Nobody at home. Kemp gets a try for Newcastle. They get their nose in front. 4 points to 0.
And that's a very important 4 points. If you can score first in these kind of conditions, it does put a lot of pressure. Jason Williams went to sleep at marker there for the Canterbury team. And very good play from Tony Kemp, very astute play.
Newcastle now, midway 22 halfway on Canterbury's end of the ground. Michael Hagan put down by Darren Smith. Spoken about in some circles as a likely maroon wearer in State of Origin. Gordon now, a chip and chase by Gordon. Oh, this could bring a penalty here.
Yeah, it's definitely a penalty. I think the Canterbury chaser realised that Ashley Gordon was going to have too much pace. We see Darren Smith holding and a final push in the back. That was the final straw. That earned the penalty, and Newcastle have had all the ball for this first 4 minutes.
Cormack taking the tap. Very close to the line, as you could see. Hagan now working it back. And playing the ball is Boyd. Scooped away there by Glanville for Hagan. Turned back to Glanville, who stayed alive. Then to McCormick. And McCormick is tackled. Still 2 metres out from the line. Glanville again. Sweeps it to the right for Hagan. Hagan gets a try. Newcastle get their second. And lead by 8 points to 0 now over the Bulldogs.
Yeah, very typical piece of play there from Michael Hagan. You know that you can't afford to let him throw the dummy. He showed the ball to the outside, ducked, got low under Darren Smith's tackle and was able to get the ball across the line. And that's just, again, through weight of possession. Ray, they've had all the football. Last time Canterbury were in possession, they held it for 1 tackle. They'll need to do better with this set of 6.
Gordon with a good chance of getting the extras, and he still misses from close range. So Newcastle with 2 tries lead Canterbury by 8 points to 0. Gordon, Hagan now looking to turn it back to a stacked blindside, finds McCormack. McCormack to Gordon, quick hands away to Glanville. Glanville's got support. Schuster for the corner. Try for Newcastle. Third in the match. 12-0 to the Newcastle Knights.
And why wouldn't it be? Some marvellous play from the Newcastle side. They've been able to keep the ball alive here. Robbie McCormack got a good ball away to Ashley Gordon, a better ball away to Mark Glanville. And he's a fine prospect. Picked up John Schuster on the outside, and 5 or 6 passes there, a marvellous movement. They've had all the football, Ray. They should be in front at least 12 points nil, but they've done it in style.
So the try scorer is going to attempt conversion with the siren sounding in the background. Again from a similar position as earlier for Ashley Gordon, but no hope in the world in these conditions. And so the half-time score, Newcastle 12, Canterbury 0. Marquette again was the tackler.
Come on, Ashley!
Cassell, Lamb. Cut-out ball for Doolan. It's gone over to Williams. Williams is over the halfway. Taken by Miller.
Well, that's another tackle from Paul Marquette. That's sensational defence. He's come up with 3 important ones, and they've all been on separate sides of the field. And, well, he's missed that one, but he was there again.
And Doolan goes in for Canterbury. Right under the black dot. 12 points to 4, conversion to come. 2 3/4 minutes left.
And I'm sure Robbie McCormack will be kicking himself that he put the ball down after that long run. Canterbury have hit back, done it in the best possible way, putting the ball down under the black dot was Doolan. Conversion attempt, unfortunately for Canterbury, was an important miss. They trailed 12 points to 4, still 8 points in arrears.
Boyd. Running to Gordon. Gordon fades to the left. Oh! Beautiful tackle. A cruncher by Maguire. 5 gone, Newcastle. Watch for the kick. Boyd. Boyd got the arms free. Marquette still in play. Schuster. He finds Kemp. Kiwi to Kiwi. Kemp heads for the corner, steps and gets it down. 16 to 4 to the Knights. And is that man tired?
He is tired and has every right to be. That's his 2nd try for the match. He's played very well, Tony Kemp, because he did start proceedings on the far side of the field. But the Newcastle side did very well. They kept the ball alive. It looked as though it could have broken down a couple of times. They actually went backwards to get the ball to Tony Kemp. I think he knew all the time that he had the defence covered. He came across and Kemp was able to reach out, plant the ball down. No doubts about that try, and that wraps it up for the Knights.
John Schuster. 30 seconds out. Got it away nicely. Looks good to me. Oh, boy, what a kick. That's the best drop kick we've seen at the stadium in the 3 days of the tournament.
Yeah, the Knights will be happy that he can do that when it's 6-all at the end of a final.
Actually, that was shades of Ashley Gordon in the final at Parramatta Stadium last year. At 22-all, he did exactly that to win at 24-22 for the Knights.
Well, he may have the opportunity to do it again as Darren Smith keeps the ball on the toe. No, it's cleaned up well. No, it's not. Darren Smith's got the ball back. He throws it off the ground to Terry Lamb. A token try. Terry Lamb able to put the ball down for the Canterbury side. 2nd try. They'll still go down in this last quarter-final in the Cup competition.
Eddie Ward in charge of the game. The Wigan champions beat Cronulla. They beat Penrith. They went down to Gold Coast as we get underway now. 7-by-7 played by Bottica. Now it's Sean Edwards for Betts. And Betts is tackled low by Jones, over the top by Stokes. Dean Bell. Working play inside the Manly 32. The Eagles have been most impressive, defeating Illawarra, Papua New Guinea. And Balmain kicked ahead by O'Fire. He'll regather and probably score. He does. First blood goes to Wigan. O'Fire clutching at his wrist.
And Martin O'Fire's down injured there after he scored the try, but a brilliant try. How quick is the man? He sights the opening, the little kick through. Kevin Iro, his former Wigan teammate, but Martinify just towed it through and then over he went. Good try to Wigan. The fire's up and about now, jogging back into position. Sprained wrist.
I'm going round now.
Shouldn't worry him.
Frano Bodica taking the attempted conversion from way out. Dual international Bodica. Not a bad kick considering the conditions, just across the face of the uprights. So we come back to the halfway with Wigan leading Manly 4 points to 0. Cliff Lyon, one of the Manly stars. Now, it's Jones. Midway, 22 halfway, Wigan's end of the park. O'Connor looks for the man who played the ball to stay alive. Jones, he does that, but he didn't stay alive for long. Now it's away from Cunningham. This is David Lydiard. Lydiard bouncing off a shoulder charge.
Ray, we know that Ian Roberts was injured earlier in the day. He's got a torn thigh muscle. Whether he comes out in this game, we'll have to see.
Uncharacteristic mistake by Cliff Lyons. Looking to show the ball and dropping it, played by Gene Miles. Bodica. Back row fire. Across the park, then the long ball. This is Dennis Betts. Considered by many to be the best forward in the world today. Dermott gives it to Miles. Miles takes it into Manly territory.
Miles is running sensationally back to the centres for Gene Miles. He's playing centre over in Wigan and running like a 3-year-old.
Bodica. Cunningham wraps him up. 40 metres out from the Manly line. Wigan 4. Manly, no score. Edwards works back to the blind. Back for Bodica. Cunningham again, strong in defence. Piles him into the ground, brings a roar from the crowd. Kick by Edwards over towards the goal mouth. Nicely weighted. Kevin Iro scored 3 tries against the Tigers. Gets it back into the field of play. Betts was one chaser, Bell was the other. Lydiard's the dummy half. Good tackle by Betts. O'Connor's turn.
Oh, good defence by Wigan. They're keeping Manly pinned in their own 10-metre zone, and Manly having trouble getting out of there.
Second tackle. Lyons. Stokes. Iro! Iro outside the quarter. Stokes. Jones. Lyons. Outside 32. Again, good defence by Wigan. Particularly from Dermott. Blindside for O'Connor. Again, Dermott makes the tackle. O'Connor punches that ball down towards the touchline. Lollies around, but it does in fact touch that sideline, so it's a scrum to pack down. 25 metres from the Wigan line.
Yeah, Cliffy Lyons once again is the chief Manly playmaker. He runs with the ball in front of him. It puts the defence in 2 minds, and if Manly are to win this game, Cliffy will need to produce a big game. Andy Gregory now brings up the ball for Wigan.
O'Fire into dummy half. John Edwards coming back towards the blind side, running into the traffic. Penalty goes to Wigan.
Yeah, he'll call out John Jones here. Jonesy come over the top, young Jughead Jones from Manly. Sean Edwards went into the tackle, and Jughead came over the top with, yes, he had 2 shots at him there. Got him both times, and Eddie Ward's given the penalty.
Wigan by 4 points to 0. 2 minutes left in the first half. First semi-final, the Nissan Cup for 1992.
And Jughead hasn't missed Sean Edwards. Look at the claret pouring out of his hooter.
Some attention for that part of the anatomy right now. Miles, good one-handed ball. Betts was there trailing. Dermott's into dummy half. They've stacked the blind side. Gregory held it back nicely. Myers couldn't handle. Jones dives on it for Manly.
And Andy Gregory got up spewing there. He's not happy. He thought Myers should have taken that one. Chance for Manly now on the right.
Stokes wrapped up by Dean Bell, but now away from him. O'Connor's gone into dummy half. Lydiard folds to the blind side. This is Iro. Iro for Lydiard. Almost on the halfway line. Dying seconds of the first half. Shown by Lyons, given to Iro. Ward has picked up the knock-on.
The knock-on there. Manly seem to be devoid of ideas at the moment to try and crack this Wigan defence. Wigan tackling like men possessed. Martin Dermott, very impressive in the middle.
45 seconds out from half-time. 7 minutes the semi-finals, 10 minutes the final. Fed by Gregory. This is Dean Bell. Bell, big dummy to O'Fire. They bought the dummy. Back inside for O'Fire. Oh, beautiful tackle by O'Connor. Now it's Bell. This is Gregory. 15 out. Long ball. Torpedo for Betts. Tackled now. 10 metres out from the line. Can Wigan put some more points on the board before half-time? Miles to O'Fire. Inside the 10. Cunningham chases. They won't get him. Oh, super try by O'Fire.
Too much pace, Martin Fire. We've seen him do it with the eastern suburbs, St George, Widnes, and now Wigan. Simple case of out the ball goes to O'Fire. He's got 2 men to beat. A Wigan man outside of him, but too much speed. Kevin Iro can't match it with him. And Martin O'Fire, 8-0 to Wigan.
There it is again. He scored some long-distance tries in the tournament, but this one was an absolute bottler of a try. So the score coming up to half-time, Wigan 8, Manly no score. Gene Miles from way out on the T-bar. Gets plenty of height, plenty of distance, but just wide. Start of the second half now. Manly with plenty of work to do, trailing by 8 points to 0. Andy Gregory fields the kick-off and brings it out 30 metres almost for the Wigan team. Miles has gone to dummy half. Cunningham doing the work. Dermott, Gregory. Now it's gone through from Sean Edwards to Dean Bell. Wrapped up by Lyons. Wind gusting across the stadium, bringing back the rain again. Edwards for Miles. Iro back slams Gene Miles. Sean Edwards. Gregory. Gregory right across the ground. He picks up David Myers. Myers will play the ball back now for Sean Edwards. Through to Gregory. Punches the ball down inside the Manly 22. Here's a race for the ball. O'Connor and Boddicker. Oh, O'Connor's missed the ball. I think it came off Boddicker's foot last, however. Well,
great chase. Yeah, great chase by Boddicker. Gregory put the ball through. Snoogles missed it there, but Boddicker, unlucky for Wigan, could have wrapped the match up.
Well, Eddie Ward's given the feed to Wigan. It came off Boddicker's foot last.
Well, that's an unbelievable decision. Snoz O'Connor went over to the touch judge there and started blowing up. He's running back into position now. But Wigan with the feed, 10 yards out from Manly's line.
A picture of Graham Lowe suggests he can't believe it. Neither can I. Manly won the scrum against the feed, but now they've knocked on. Well, this time the right side will have the feed. But a bad mistake there by Eddie Ward off advice from his touch man. Sean Edwards, centre ground, 10 metres out. A try here will probably seal it for Wigan. Gregory! 1 metre from the uprights. End of the passage for Wigan as Manly comes away with Hancock. Now Lydiard. Boddicker's tackle on Lydiard is a good one. O'Connor. Now to Cunningham.
Oh, they're tackling well, Wigan. Plenty of oomph in their tackles. And Manly doing it hard now.
Line. Now to O'Connor. Gregory on O'Connor. He misses him. Hancock. Chance now for the Eagles. Stokes has got the ball. He's lost it. David Myers has got it.
Yeah, great tackle, Dean Bell on Kevin Iro. Iro looked as though he's in the clear, but Bell came across in cover and smashed him.
Wigan now with a fresh set of 6. Boddicker coming away from the halfway line. Straight up the centre. Puts in the kick. A race for the ball now. Boddicker again involved. Cleaned up by David Lydiard for Manly. Stokes beats Boddicker. Gets the ball 20 metres out from the Manly line. Miles is the tackle. 8 points to 0. 3 3/4 to go. Lydiard. Manly not looking as well-oiled or regimented as they were in their earlier exchanges. Lyons, big dummy, crosses quarter. One-hander for O'Connor. Miles on O'Connor.
Good tackle by G. Miles. O'Connor's got the great left foot step, but Gino got him. Here's a chance now.
David Lydiard into some space now. Beats Gregory. They come from behind. Dean Bell, one of them. Through Lyons. It's gone to Iro. They've got the numbers on the left. It's gone out to Hancock. Hancock gets it to Stokes. Stokes comes inside. He picks up Kevin Iro. Iro goes in for Manly. 8 points to 4 now. The Eagles coming back.
That's the try that the Eagles wanted. They were down 8-0 with 2.5 minutes remaining, and they were desperate. Got the ball on the left. Craig Hancock found Frankie Stokes. Martin Afai came across in cover, but Kevin Iro, no one covering him inside, under the sticks. 8-4, kick to come.
Cliff Lyons, he's missed it.
Oh, shocker, Cliffy.
Under the bar. 8 points to 4, Wigan leads. 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Back now for Dermott. Dennis Betts. Away from Lydiard. He's into the open. Clean break by Betts. Pull down, 10 out.
Yeah, what a great player Dennis Betts is. A great, hard-running second rower.
Sean Edwards. Away and through Dermott. Taken by Lydiard.
Well, Dave Lydiard never onside there, coming back into position. Very lucky escape there for Manly.
Manly, 1 minute and 45 to go. Lyons on his own 22 for Hancock. Betts the tackler. Lyons calling it left. Lydiard. Good tackle by Miles.
The Manly club, they'll be looking for the combination of Cliffy Lyons, Mick O'Connor and Kevin Iro to try and get them out of the fire here.
Cunningham, straight up the middle. Owen Cunningham is through. He's picked up O'Connor. Back for Cunningham. Cunningham's inside the 32. The actual line.
15 seconds remaining. If he gets this, it's all over. If not, the first scorers will win after the return to the centre.
Stokes, it's away wide of the upright.
So we'll have a dead heat here.
Full-time siren sounding. Referee Ward acknowledges that. Away goes David Myers. Gets the ball down for Boddicker. Boddicker was held up after kicking the ball. There could be a penalty here. There is. No, it's played on. But
Penalty.
It'll be a penalty.
Yeah, penalty.
Penalty to Wigan.
They get another chance, the Wigan players. Will they take the kick for goal or spread it out? Big
So
decision.
we're locked at 8 points all. The
Morris.
full-time siren has sounded. So Dermott. Just a question there of the referee.
Oh, looks like Frano Boddicker is going to try and kick this goal to put them in front and give them the game.
8 points all. We've gone past the full-time hooter. They were able to start the game off before the siren. Bodicker's kick, it's wide. We go to extra time. Now, the first team to score points wins the game. Wigan should have the feed to this scrum. Manly the loose head. Last team in possession. Yes, it'll be Wigan's feed.
Well, Wigan need to hold this for 6 tackles, try and get down in the quarter and do something from there. It's an exciting finish to the game. The winner goes through to the final of the Nissan Sevens.
Andy Gregory off the field. Cliffy Lyons booking for Manly. Fed and won by Wigan naturally. Wide ball for Boddicker. David Myers now. 12 metres into Manly's area. Boddicker again. Sean Edwards back for Boddicker. They go back to the blind side. Boddicker pulled down by Lyon. 32 metres out. Myers away for Edwards. On now for Dermott. Long ball by Dermott. Beautifully taken by Dean Bell. Bell gets it away for Dermott. Now they've got the numbers. They've got 3 on 2. Dermott, oh, he's turned it back into no man's land. O'Fire's got the ball. Back it comes now for Sean Edwards. Inside the 22 he goes. Manly hanging on, trying to turn Wigan away from this set of 6. Inside the quarter. Dennis Betts now. Betts. Pulled down by Hancock. He got it to Bell. O'Fire. Now it's Boddicker. Lyons makes the tackle that had to be made. 5 tackles gone against Wigan. The Cherry Pickers and the Sea Eagles. O'Fire. Now it's Edwards. Taken ball and all by Kevin Iro.
Yeah, great defence by Manly, holding the great Wigan side out for 6 tackles there. And fantastic defence. Graham Lowe looks on concernedly.
Played by Jones. Hancock. O'Connor. Bell got a shoulder on him. Hancock for Lydia. Away from Miles. Taken by Bell. Hancock has gone to dummy half, but his nearest teammate is 20 metres away. Rain sweeping across the stadium again. O'Connor. Oh, Lydiard went the wrong way.
If David Lydiard stays out on his wing there, it could have been a try, a 70-metre try, but he elected to come back inside, and the ball goes into touch.
We're into extra time by something like 2.5 minutes now. Won by Wigan. Edwards for Bell. Run around for Edwards. 8 points all. Extra time for the right to go through to the final. Bell inside for Miles. This could be it. It's gone out for Dennis Betts. He gets it over the line. Wigan have gone to the final.
Yeah, well played, Wigan. They came into this competition as 4-1 favourites. The bookmakers said Wigan were 4-1, and they're into the final. And Dennis Betts, the great Dennis Betts, Dean Bell went wide, he turned into Miles, and Miles did the same. Bennett's come back inside, he had to hurdle his own player. Yeah, fair try to Dennis Betts. Wigan win the semi.
Newcastle kick off, so Brisbane first handle of the ball here in such an important game. It's Hancock. He takes it up. Too much defence, but does muscle his way out of the 22. Brisbane nice and deep. Running hard and strong as Lazarus. He's taken play midway between the 22 and the half of the strong run. Still they come forward.
Yeah, it's very good ground there by the Brisbane side. It's been one out stuff, but they've gone a good 40 metres in 3 plays, working down into the opposition territory. Alan Langer again starting to pull the strings.
Langer just short of the halfway line, back for Walters. Walters with a little sprint really from dummy half. Gets it on to Johns. Big long looper out now. That's for Hancock. Hancock stepping, still going. Hancock usually beats one. He's done this again, Hancock. Still going across the field, trying to link up with the support. It's there in the form of Terry Madison. Madison takes him. Ashley Gordon takes him in defence. So now, Brisbane inside the 22. A little stab kick. Over for the line, and yes! Well, Brisbane off a kick.
Yeah, it's a great start for the Brisbane side. They worked the play down. Big run from Michael Hancock to bring it back to the right side of the field, and a good kick through. Chris Johns definitely onside. Ashley Gordon threw the boot out. Would have been better to dive on it, but Chris Johns has scored the first try for this Brisbane side.
As Peter Sterling said, Brisbane making a lot of territory in that set of 6, and Chris Johns in off a little stab kick. Not bad tactics today. Most of the kicks, they were going each way and every way. Willie Kahn takes the attempted goal waved away, so score remains Brisbane 4, Newcastle 0, 5:08 on the clock remaining.
And one thing the Brisbane side have been the Newcastle side, I'm sorry, have been good at is hitting back straight away. This is their first set of 6. Interesting to see what style they play, how much I'm prepared to move the ball early on, trailing on the scoreboard.
Tony Kemp playing it back for McCormack. McCormack with a little stuttering run. McCormack gets through too. McCormack's got support on the outside, gets the ball away. But Glanville just couldn't take it, and what a player he is.
Six plays again. Robbie McCormack was able to clean up after knocked down by a Brisbane side, so a good set of 6 here for the Newcastle side.
Kemp spinning around, wanting to play the ball. Glanville now a dummy half. Comes out to Hagan. Hagan fires it for Ashley Gordon. He comes back inside. Too much defence there, though. Inside the 22. McCormack gets it away nicely to Glanville. Glanville puts on the pace again. Hagan setting it up with a long pass. Intercept now. Run off for Brisbane. Can he go all the way? Certainly get the legs over. He's over the halfway. Heading now towards the 22. Run off. They won't get him. Oh, he's getting dragged down. He can't get out of the support. Can't get there. Now it does. But the referee said he was held. Well, what marvellous defence from that chaser. No. Well,
no, it's a try.
It's a try. I'm sure he called it up. I thought he called hell on the signal I got.
You must feel sorry for Jamie Ainscough. He made all the running, finally ran down Steve Renouf. The intercept taken from the Michael Hagan pass, and you'd have thought it was shut the gate here with Steve Renouf into open spaces. But Jamie Ainscough just signed with the Newcastle club this year. He showed plenty of pace also. Just couldn't wrap Renouf up enough. Couldn't get him on the deck. And Renouf waited for Alan Langer. And another Brisbane player there in support, under the posts.
Here's the kick. So the score now, Brisbane 10, Newcastle 0. And time running down in this first half. Well, what a run, what a tackle, what
breaks
a
your heart
chase.
in sevens football, Darryl, to have an intercept taken. Newcastle had a good attacking area to work in. And the intercept taken went the whole way. So they've got their work to get back into this game, trailing 10 points.
So McCormack now for the Knights comes back, turns it back inside for Glanville. Glanville tries to get it away, he can't. Wallace dives on the ball for Brisbane. So Brisbane getting plenty of possession. Playing it back will be Johns to Madison. Back for Lazarus, and this rain absolutely teeming, but nobody leaving the stadium.
Ball knocked out of Glenn Lazarus's hand. Newcastle have come up. You do get the feeling that the Knights need to score before half-time. Just over 2 minutes left on the clock to get back into this game. Very important set of 6 here.
Marquette plays it back for Glanville. Back through Hagan. On the Gordon. Gordon with a little dash out.
Under the post.
Oh, can you get there too, Gordon? Oh, yes, sir. Right under the post. So the Knights come back as Peter said they should, and they've done it straight away.
Well, there'll be an inquiry into the Brisbane defence here. It did appear as though 2 of the Broncos players had Ashley Gordon well in their sights. Michael Hagan threw it to Gordon. Didn't appear to be anything on, but he's ducked. Langer and I think Terry Madison to blame there, and Ashley Gordon, he's certainly got a ton of pace, and that's the best place to score them.
And the kick right in front. The man who won the final against St George last year with a beauty gets that one too. So Newcastle hitting back 10-6 now with 1:24 on the clock.
Really up to the Knights now. There's David Waite, the coach. Doesn't look too happy, but realises there's still plenty of football left in this game. Very important now that the Knights can keep the Broncos out with a minute left as Walters puts the ball down. And that's a big mistake there for the Broncos. Unusual mistake made by the Walters. Kevin Walters.
Hagan now playing it back for Ainscough. Put in a fantastic chase. Back for McCormack. Newcastle bustling their way, muscling their way, trying to get through the best way they can here. Taking up the centre now, they'll spread it wide. They've got some numbers out here. They go the other way. They change direction through Schuster. But the Brisbane defence gets him centre field, still there half of the ground by 10 metres they're short. That's the halfway line you can see now. Hagan wrapped up. The rain at the moment making your pitches look pretty smoky, but that's how heavy it is. Absolutely teeming down here. Little kick through. Ainscough in chase. Can't get there in time though. Wallace gets there.
Now it's been ruled a knock-on by the Brisbane player, or grounded by the Brisbane player, I'm sorry, as Eddie Ward comes back to the centre of the post. Will be a dropout, but I don't think they'll have time. Only 3 seconds left on the clock. Yes, he's ruled that. Well, there's Kerrod Wallace has grounded it with his knee.
action restarts. Second half of this second semi-final. Wigan, of course, are already there. Will it be Newcastle or Brisbane to meet them in the final? Newcastle doing the best way they can, going upfield to try and be that other side. Kemp plays it back. He gets it back to Glanville. Glanville been pretty well contained.
Darryl, you must marvel at the skills of these players. They're playing under atrocious conditions, but really in both semi-finals, certainly the Wigan-Manly game, the handling was outstanding, and this game has followed up.
Newcastle through Hagan. They get it onto Ashley Gordon. Gordon charges a few metres, tackled on the halfway line. Comes back out for Hagan. Flicks one up for Ainscow. He's taken by Hancock.
Yeah, I don't know about that option. That was the last tackle. I'm not quite sure whether Jamie Ainscow knew that. They've given over possession in a reasonable attacking position just inside the Brisbane half.
To Lazarus now. He plays it back. Brisbane back in possession, and this rain absolutely coming down. Cannot believe it. We can have so much rain in Sydney over 3 days. So Brisbane working play midway between the half and the quarter. Back out for Langer. Langer steps inside, gives it to
Chris Johns, I think, was
Chris
just
Johns.
grounded, Darryl. And he's
Johns.
one player they'll be looking at. He can certainly run the football in from a long way out as they decide to go to the air. And Steve Renouf leading the race. That'll be a try. Great kick there and a great bounce for Steve Renouf. They've kicked further away, 14 points to 6.
They can do no wrong at the moment, Peter.
Well, the kicking game very important in the sevens, and that was a very astute kick. It went over the top, and you never know what kind of bounce you're going to get in these kinds of conditions. But Kerrod Walters saw that there was nobody at home, and Steve Renouf had too much pace for Ashley Gordon. Of course, very difficult to turn and chase in these conditions. And that's a marvellous try as Kerrod Walters again puts the boot to ball, unsuccessful with the conversion attempt, but a very handy lead to the Brisbane side, 14 points to 6.
Time ticking away too at 4:54. 14-6 Brisbane leading Newcastle. Newcastle have got to come back from really this set of 6.
Well, they do, and really when you look through the side, I think Brisbane, they're going to be very tough to beat because they're going to be able to close this down with the experience they have in the side. They'll look to Langer, they'll look to Kevin Walters, Kerrod Walters, of course, up front, and I don't think they'll do too much silly. And they'll try and play very strong defence in this last 4.5 minutes.
Miller back to Schuster. Schuster on to Hagan. Hagan on to Kemp. Kemp fires one back for Schuster. Wrapped up quickly, though, by Hancock. Robbie McCormack. Flicks one back for Hagan. He quickly gets it away for Schuster. He puts it down. Kemp picks it up. Now they get it out again, but again, Newcastle spilling far too much ball, that time through Miller.
Well, I can't believe that Eddie Ward missed that first knock on. Justice finally prevailed with the ball going to ground once again, and the Brisbane team to feed the scrum, but he must have been unsighted there, but all's well that ends well as Brisbane again retain possession. Under 4 minutes to go. I think they look like going through to meet Wigan in what should be a classic final.
So Brisbane now. Through Langer. Getting on to Johns. Another bustling run from Johns. He takes play to the halfway line. Madison, dummy half, goes for a little spin there. They know that they've just got to wind this clock down, and that's what they're doing.
Looks to me like a mini version of Wally Lewis these days. Terry Madison just playing the football, and certainly get a chance up there with the King now going to cement spot, and Gene Miles moving on.
Brisbane slowing it right down. Langer on to Renouf. Renouf now claps a bit of pace on. Makes the break too, Renouf. Oh, he's having a great game, Renouf. Fantastic game by Renouf. Look at that, right under the dot, and that sealed it. There's Wayne Bennett, the coach, on the sideline. Well rucked up against this rain, but Renouf, he's having a big time out here.
Yeah, hard man to please to Wayne Bennett. Still couldn't crack a smile as Alan Langer gives the ball to Steve Renouf in plenty of space. Ashley Gordon committed to the outside. Great footwork there from Steve Renouf. He's wrapped this game up, and it's been a good performance as the conversion attempt is successful from Alan Langer. They now lead 20 points to 6, and that's going to be good enough to win this game.
And Langer makes sure that he gets the extras too. So 20 points to 6 and 2:24 on the clock.
Well, there's a knee raise there from Willie Kahn.
Well,
So wasn't appreciated by the Newcastle side.
McCormack and Glanville having a bit to say, and Robbie McCormack getting involved too with a bit of verbal. Ashley Gordon clears for Newcastle. So, Brisbane back inside their 22 and Newcastle on the attack. Robbie McCormick gets it out to Hagan. Then they get it on to Aintscow. He puts the ball down. Well, too much drop ball. You can't do that.
Yes, the Newcastle side have probably made more mistakes in this one game than they've made in the tournament so far. And it's certainly, they've been made to pay by this very talented Brisbane side. If you have a look through, it's just such great attacking ability in the Broncos outfit. That'll be a big test for the Wigan team.
So Madison now firing it out. And Brisbane just going through the motions at the moment with Hancock. Hancock struggling up to play it.
He's had a good tournament, Hancock, as Alan Langer decides again to go over the top. The reason I've been impressed with Hancock in this particular tournament is that he's played very well defensively. We know he can run the football, but he's done some great stuff in defence. And some more good work being done by the Brisbane side in defence, courtesy of Alan Langer and Terry Madison.
So Newcastle with the football in their half. Clock counting down to just on a minute now. So Newcastle, 60 seconds to do something with it. In the slush and mud here at the Sydney Football Stadium. Kemp spins. Flicks one nicely back for David Boyd.
Come on, fucker, keep working.
Kemp. Hagan. Ashley Gordon. Still going forward here. Ashley Gordon now swings it back inside for Aintscow. He puts his boot to it. The chasers on Brisbane should have it pretty well and truly covered as they do and bring it back into the field of play.
Yeah, Julian O'Neill, very cool under pressure back there, picked the ball up. Nearly got out to his own 10-metre line, and Brisbane will now wind down the clock. Only 15 seconds left. Nothing silly, plenty of dummy half running.
Okay, one heck of a final coming up because Brisbane will take on Wigan. Brisbane now just winding it away. And there's the final hooter as Hancock is still making a bustling run as he's done right throughout the match. So what an impressive win over last year's premiers of the Sevens. Brisbane going out winners 20 points to 6.
So it's time on from Bill Harrigan. Wigan running right to left. And coming back with the ball is Terry Madison for the Broncos. Immediately, the first tackler was Gene Miles. Now it's Willie Kahn out to the 22 line. Dean Bell, one tackler. Sean Edwards, the other. The Broncos, ultra impressive against Newcastle. Referee Harrigan letting play go down the ground, applying the advantage. It'll come back for the knock-on and a very good chance for Wigan early.
Yes, not the start that Brisbane were looking for. A mistake on something like the third tackle. I mean, the Brisbane side, I'm sorry. And Wigan a great, as you say, Ray, great attacking opportunity. See, Martin Offia has gone into 5'8", normally out on the wing, so they're looking to get him involved straight away.
So Wigan win the scrum. Sean Edwards gave it to Martin O'Fire. He ran into a cordon of Broncos now. It comes back along the back line now to Frano Botica, dual international. He's left the halfway behind him and eventually pulled up by Kahn. Now it's Dennis Betts. Working play up towards the 22. Dummy half is Botica. Edwards at first receiver. Away now for Bell. Now it's Dermott. Opia gets out of a couple. Inside the corner. That's his 7th try for the tournament.
Well, I mentioned advantages in this Wigan side. I said the fact that they had a little bit more rest, but there's another advantage. The speed of this man, the top try scorer in the competition. Moved the ball out, a missed tackle from Michael Hancock, whose defence has been very good up to date, and once he gets into open space, there's just absolutely no chance of catching this man. Been criticism of his defence, but when it comes to attack, none better.
So Wigan take first points and lead by 4 points to 0, and Frano Botica has a 50% success ratio with his kicking during this tournament. He's unsuccessful with this one, and so the scoreline remains with 2.5 minutes approximately gone in the first half, keeping in mind they are 10-minute halves in the final only. The cup final, 20 minutes in length with a 5-minute break in the middle. Brisbane now with Madison. Dummy half is Walters. Now it's Johns. Again, Miles getting involved in the heavy work of defence. Walters. Now it's Langer. One thing that came through with the Wigan semi-final performance was the vigour in their defence, the intensity. Johns is out of a fragile tackle, though. And again, it was Big Gino who cut him down. They're 15 out from the line. Kick going sadly astray there.
Yeah, it's not what Kevin Walters was looking for. You did mention the defence of Wigan, Ray, as they had a bust made against them, but that's been the impressive thing. The English have always been criticised for that part of their game. But it's been very, very good over the last couple of days in this Sevens tournament.
David Myers tackled with the ball, formerly, or had a season with the Manly club. Just outside the Wigan 22 miles to play. From Boddicker to Edwards. Dermott. Now it's Edwards again, right across the park. Throwing dummies, losing some ground. Dean Bell, Kiwi captain of a couple of years ago. Edwards. Away now for Dermott. On for Betts. Oh, Betts was lucky. He got underneath that big one from Lazarus. Dermott onto Miles. Miles over the halfway mark. Boddicker. Dermott. Kick going down towards the 22-metre point. In fact, well beyond it. Willie Carr uses the fen. Comes to Myers. Johns is in at acting half now. Lazarus. Glenn Lazarus steaming up the middle.
Some very cheap yards there for Glenn Lazarus. Really now, the Wigan side have to reform in defence. A good set of 6 with a fair kick at the end of it. And the Brisbane side looking to work out their first set of 6 tackles with the football in their hands.
Madison got a ball away for Michael Hancock. Pulled down by David Myers. Midway 22 halfway. Penalty goes to Brisbane. Penalty to Brisbane, not allowing him to play the ball.
Yeah, some interference in the play the ball, and another tough call for the Wigan side. You don't want to be giving away penalties in the tackle count because this game is all about possession. As Kevin Walters makes some good ground up the middle, starting to look very dangerous, the Brisbane team.
Andy Gregory was the man that made the tackle. Johns now comes towards the centre of the ground. Edwards and Gregory. The halves for Wigan, the cherry pickers, they make the tackle. Langer away through Lazarus and Walters, and now with Renouf. And Renouf cut down. Bootlace tackle by Boddicker.
Chase across, boss, chase across.
Cross now for Lazarus. The line is only 8 metres away. 3 metres away. Langer! Langer gets the first try for the Broncos. It's 4 points all. Kick to come.
Langer may have got the try, but put the try down to Glenn Lazarus. A great run up the middle again, an offload. Had Alan Langer in support, and he scored under the post. We see Lazarus taking the ball under a high tackle from Offia. Just the strength of this man. Good ball away, and some nice nifty footwork again from Alan Langer. Improves the position. And the kick successful from Alan Langer, moves up. 6 points to 4, the Brisbane side now lead. And that's got them back on track, courtesy of a try to that man.
So Wigan with the ball and taking it out through Andy Gregory. Away now for O'Fire. Down the sideline. Shut the gate. Chariots is going in again. 8th try of the tournament. 8 points to 6 now.
And not happy with the late tackle from Michael Hancock, but he's got the 4 points. And another, just an incredible effort of speed here. Outside Willie Carr, who is not a slow man, current test winger for Australia. But it showed him a clean pair of heels. The ball around, and Michael Hancock did come in late. He did offend Martin Offia, but he has put his English side once again into the lead, 8 points to 6. And the kick unsuccessful from Sean Edwards. Very difficult to get those conversion kicks away, but a good lead to the Wigan side as Langer restarts play.
And immediately they go to the right to Kerrod Walters. Now Chris John. So first one, then the other. Just the way you would expect a cup final. Madison. Langer. Gregory's after him. Bell makes the tackle. Kerrod Walters. Madison. Ridden into the ground by Boddicker. Away now for Renouf in the headgear as per normal. Pulled down by Dennis Betts. He's had a great sevens. Garrett Walters. Flick pass for Renouf. 5 tackles gone. Langer. Langer steps off the left, comes back to the blind. They've stacked the numbers on the blind side.
Yeah, it's good defence from the Wigan side. Alan Langer put the big left foot step in. It was the last tackle. Had the option of kicking, decided to run. But the Wigan defence up to the task.
Bodiger, Betts now. One-on-one performance by Renouf on Betts. Dermott. Tremendous semi-final for him. Gregory's gone into acting half. Sean Edwards. The ball is going to bounce midway between 22 and halfway. It's rolled right down inside the Brisbane quarter. Race for the ball here. And covered up by Michael Hancock.
A good kick there from Sean Edwards and a great chase from David Myers. Only a minute 15 left on the clock. Wigan well satisfied going in with a half-time lead.
8-6, 2 tries to Wigan, 1 to Brisbane. 2 to Afire, 1 to Langer. Bursting up the middle again is Glenn Lazarus. Kevin Walters. Willie Carnes with him. Walters has gone through the gap. He's into Wigan's half. He's going towards the 22 line. Beautiful hands out there by Julian O'Neill. They've got him though, Sean Edwards. Tremendous cover there by Edwards. Garrett Walters, his brother Kevin. They're 8 metres out. Willie Kahn. Last tackle coming up now for the Broncos. We're 25 seconds out from half-time. Garrett Walters gets the pass away. Kahn can't take it. Over the sideline and turnover of possession. John Money there, the Wigan coach.
Yes, a nervous Wigan coach, but his charges are doing the job very, very well. We'll see nothing fancy here. Just a simple set of dummy half running as the clock winds down to half-time. They'll go in front, the English team.
Total crowd figure for the 3 days in the area of 60,000, 19,000 here today in deplorable conditions, which I guess testifies to the acceptance of sevens football in Sydney. Miles goes back at them. Big run by the former Bronco. Sean Edwards has gone into the dummy half roll. This is Betts now, trying to work it up the centre. 32 metres out from his own line. Wigan with that 2-point lead. Through Edwards onto Bell. Bodiger comes inside as they run the angle. Cut down by Kevin Walters, but not held. Sean Edwards again. Away from Kahn. Arc-like run, losing some ground. Bell for O'Fire.
He's trouble.
O'Fire stretching out now over the halfway. Beats the last line of defence. And Martin O'Fire goes in for his 3rd try in the cup final.
Oh, brilliant play by O'Fire. Showed more toe than a Roman sandal there. Alfie Langer couldn't match it for pace. And Wigan, I can hear them at Central Park on the terraces. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Sean Edwards it was, out to Dean Bell. He's injured. O'Fire's not. And O'Fire put the pedal down. Alfie Langer came across in cover, all in despair. And O'Fire races away and puts it over.
So the conversion of the O'Fire try coming up. Bodiger gets the flag in the air, just the one-touch judge adjudicating on goals. Wigan extend their lead to 14 points to 6, and O'Fire comes to the benches for a rest. Incidentally, Paul Vorton, I hope your day job is nice and secure. Ball to be played by Garrett Walters. Lazarus going up the middle.
He's played well, Lazarus. New buy for Brisbane from the Canberra club, and he's played very, very well. Lost a lot of weight in the off-season.
Garrett Walters working to Willie Carnes' wing on the runaround. Now Walters puts the centre kick in. Race for the ball. Wigan haven't been able to clean it up. There's a chance for Brisbane. 6 more tackles now. Can the Broncos come back? They won't get off the Brisbane player. Well, he tried to tap it ahead, but Wigan have come up with it.
He's a dubbo. There was plenty of space they had left. They had 4 on 2, and a waste of an opportunity there for the Broncos.
Dean Bell. Dermott. David Myers. Nice cushion here for Wigan. 14-6. As it goes through sets of hands along the line through Betts. Bill to play it. This is Miles. Almost reaching the 32-metre line. Dermott. Kick coming down towards Renouf. Well fielded by the Broncos centre.
Great chase by Boddicker to cut down Renouf.
Renouf slowly up to play it. Waiting for a dummy half. Finding Kevin Walters. Alan Langer's gone into that position now. Chris Johns wants it. That's him with it now. Oh, good tackle by Miles. It's been one of the features of the final. No marker, though. Renouf. 6.5 minutes of time remaining. Langer away for Kevin Walters now. Over the 22. Cut down from behind.
Dennis Betts once again. Brilliant tackle. Second row on 5/8, and he ran him down easily. Someone should tell Dennis Betts that sideburns went out when Elvis carked it.
Kevin Walters calling for replacement immediately. And the 3-man scrum goes down 8 metres away from the Wigan line. Gregory now with the head taped.
Oh, he's a tough man, though. He's a tough little rooster, Andy Gregory.
It took the efforts of Lazarus and Kevin Walters to stop him. Boddicker. Dermott. Johns the tackle. Gene Miles. Dermott again going in to distribute. First receiver, Gregory. Gregory's into a little hole. The little legs are pumping away. And eventually rounded up by Julian O'Neill. Crowd of some 19,000, as I said, braving the conditions to see the Wigan champions as Dennis Betts makes another grand run. 5 tackles gone for Wigan.
He must be close, Dennis Betts, to being the player of the series. He's been outstanding in every match that he's played.
Gregory kicking ahead for the chasers. Dean Bell's coming, but so is Renouf.
Good pressure by Bell. Had Renouf covered all the way, and now Wigan get the ball back from the dropout.
More pressure coming for Brisbane.
14-6 with just over 4 minutes remaining. Ray, I think Brisbane, they're Gary Goners, and Wigan, the 4-1 favourites for the competition. They'll take home the Nissan Sevens trophy.
Langer's dropout, landing right in the middle of the ground.
Oh,
Couldn't have landed for a worse player in opposition. O'Fire out to Betts. Betts steaming down the sideline. Langer to beat. Khan comes at him. O'Fire gets number 4.
Well, it wouldn't be anyone else, would it? Unbelievable play, but Dennis Betts once again from the dropout. As we'll see it on the replay, O'Fire gets the ball. Hunt's left. You can see Dennis Betts out wide. He beats a couple here. Throws a good pass to Betts. And Betts races away. Kerrod Wallace pushes him off easily. Alfie Langer comes, but O'Fire. Give it to me, lad. And over he goes, number 4.
Yes, and a little bit of the old, how do you do, brothers? A game that was made very much for this man, Martin O'Fire. Wigan leading by 18 points to 6. 4 tries to 1. And Sean Edwards, who's had his nose broken in the previous game for the 10th time in his career, had 6 stitches inserted, unsuccessful with conversion. 18-6 in favour of Wigan. 3 minutes of time remaining, and Glenn Lazarus coming to the benches.
Of course, Ray, we'll see a lot of these players out here later in the year with the touring Great Britain side, players such as Betts, Edwards and Gregory. And, you know, they could give Australia a run for the money this year.
Knock on by O'Neill. Wigan will play it very much at their own pace now.
Martin O'Fire in this competition since its inception has now scored 10 tries over the last 3 days. He scored the first one, and he scored the last 4 as well.
Sean Edwards. Almost unbelievable that at Balmain he was on the benches for the major part of his year.
You said it, Ray.
Wigan not even giving the Broncos an opportunity to take the advantage there. Langer has to put the ball to the boot. Khan gets across just in the nick of time.
The Broncos haven't played poorly, you know, Ray. They've just been outclassed by the pace of a fire. It's just unbelievable. They're still trying. They'll try to the death.
Played by O'Neill, away from Addison. Langer goes to the right. Again, Miles the tackler. O'Fire might have scored some marvellous tries, 4 of them in all, but Miles's defence has also been an outstanding contribution. Gregory to play. 1.5 minutes of time remaining. And the Nissan Trophy, the Nissan Cup for 1992, heading back to Central Park.
Gene Miles is 32, but he tells me he's having the time of his life over there at Wigan, and he could end up playing there for another season next year.
Dean Bell, that's the halfway line. You can barely distinguish. And you can see from those pictures just how soggy this ground is. But their handling right through the day has been incredible. Into the final minute as Miles slowly plays the ball. Gregory across, trying to work into space. Gerard Walters and Terry Madison putting him to the ground eventually. Dermott. This is Sean Edwards. Little goofy step before it goes to O'Fire. Back to Dermott. They're looking for an opening down the right now. Dermott again. 5 tackles gone. Gregory is probably the man to watch to the left. And here he is. Bodiger. Bodiger kicking now. But Dennis Betts coming down the left flank. Hancock is there for Brisbane. Away from the tackle. And so Hancock on a lengthy run down towards halfway, but Dean Bell makes the tackle.
Well, it's all over, Ray. Congratulations go to Wigan. They've flown 1,000,000 miles for this, and they've done very, very well. Wigan 18 have defeated Brisbane 6.
The Wigan players back home after a 10,000-mile trip. Before the family reunions, the reunion with the fans. No one seems to mind, though. Wigan glad to celebrate a $100,000 winner's cheque and a few tasty individual offers as well.
The telephone was a bit hot on Monday morning, but it's the case I've signed at Wigan. I'm very happy here, you know, after all the troubles that I've had. I'm glad that I found a home at Wigan, and, you know, I've sort of dedicated myself there for the next 4 or so years. But obviously, you know, with the opportunity to play in Sydney in the summer, then, you know, obviously I won't be going every year, but, you know, I've spoken to a few clubs about possibility of maybe even the 93 or 94 season.
We thoroughly enjoyed ourselves, and, you know, to come away with the trophy certainly is a bonus, but, you know, I'm sure the 10 guys that did go away would jump at the chance to go again next week. It's just a shame that it has come in a very delicate time in the situation we are here at present.
But it's another trophy, and don't knock it. This was a win earned against the best in the world.
People in Sydney realise now that rugby league's not only played in Sydney, and to see the Russian team there, the French were there, the people from Fiji were there, New Zealand, and us representing Great Britain, it really opened some eyes up. And then the quality of rugby league that the Wigan players played, you know, was outstanding. So promoting the game worldwide, I think that was the name of the game.